This is section 1-3 of the 6th grade math. This is simplifying expressions using order of operations. So whenever we're doing order of operations, there's a couple things I want you to remember. We always go to our inside grouping symbols first. We always multiply and divide from left to right. No matter what comes first, we're going to multiply from left to right. We add and subtract from left to right. That doesn't mean we add first, then subtract. It means whatever we see first going left to right, you add or subtract. Whatever we see first going left to right, whether it's division or multiplication, we do that first before we do our adding and subtracting. So, this would be an example. Actually, I want to give you an acronym. I know that in elementary school they use something called PEMDAS. Well, in middle school, as you get older, we had a few more things to that. Instead of PEMDAS, we use something called GERMDAS. So the first one is grouping symbols. Drawing with my fingers, so. Okay, so our grouping symbols at this point include more than just a parenthesis. We've got brackets, braces, sorry. We have parentheses. We also could have, do this. So you could have like a bracket. Parentheses. We could have a division bar is a way to create a group. You could have a group on top with or without parentheses, but you got to simplify the top then the bottom. With E, we now have not only exponents but roots. So if there are exponents and roots, square roots, that would be at the same level as your exponents. And then, of course, we have our multiplying and dividing. And then we've got our add and subtract. So again, this always happens left to right, whatever comes first. But the first thing we do is we go into the group. Next thing we're going to always do is hit the exponents or any roots in the problem. Third, any multiplying or dividing, whatever comes first, left to right. Fourth, adding and subtracting, whatever comes first, left to right. So with that in mind, I'll give you some. Okay, so we start first. We have a group, so we're going to go to our group, and we do 10 plus 3 in the group. It's 13. Then I write everything else. And from now on, we're not going to use that X anymore for multiplication. We're going to either use the dot, or, even better, we use a parenthesis. Parenthesis in this case does not mean group. That parenthesis means multiplication because it's next to a 2. A parenthesis that means a group has at least two things in it. This parenthesis is multiplication. So now I've done my group. I move on to going left to right. I hit the multiplication. And last but not least, I do the adding. All right, now pause the recording and you try it with the next few. Now check your work. So first we hit the group. 9 plus 3 is 12. Bring down the 15. It would actually be minus 12. And then we end up with 3. Number 2, 15 minus 9 is 6. Plus 11, 17. Number 3, 15. Again, remember we do left to right. So the first thing we see is division. So we're going to do that. Division and multiplication happen at the same time. 15 divided by 5 is 3 times 6, and we get 18. Groups first. 7 minus 3 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6, which is 24. Now try some more practice problems. Remember, what does the dot stand for in this case? Pause the recording and finish the problems. Now check your work. So this time we're going to do 8 times 3 is 24, plus 6 is 30. Number 6, 16 divided by 4 is 4, times 2 is 8. Number 7. Hopefully you did 2 times 3 is 6. 10 minus 6 is 4. Last, 10 minus 4 is 6. 14 divided by 7 is 2. We're going to then multiply those. We get 12. Okay, now, notice the directions. They're giving us two things to do. Translate each phrase and simplify. And notice it says phrase, so it's not an equation. I don't want to see you add an equal sign. So I'm going to add 5 to the product of 10 and 3. There's 4 important words. If you see product, quotient, sum, or difference, you're going to have to put those into a parenthesis. So as we read this, we see add 5 to the product. So I've got 2 operations, adding and the product. So I'm going to send that product over to the closest end. So that means we're doing 10 times 3 is a product. But then it says add 5 to something. So that's why I'm adding my 5 afterwards. And then we simplify by taking it down to one number. So 10 times 3 is 30, plus 5 gives us 35. All right, now pause the recording and you do number 2. Okay, now check your work. So I've got 2 operations. I've got divide and the sum. Let me do this. I've got divide and a sum. So I am, hold on, it's just sticking. All right, it doesn't matter. All right, so now my 2 operations this time are divide and sum. So I send my sum to the closest and. That means I'm really going to want to, remember, my 4 major operations, I'm going to have to put it into a group. So a sum of 12 and 8. And then I'm going to divide the whole sum, the entire thing, by 5. Not 8 by 5, but the sum by 5. So here's the sum, and I'm dividing it by 5. Okay? So as we do that, first thing we know, and notice I want you working downward. Please don't add equal signs and keep giving me a run-on sentence. Okay? Okay, we simplify downward in steps in math. And that's not 1.2, it's 12. Okay, so we do our group first. In the top group, we get 20 divided by 5, and that simplifies right underneath it. Right underneath that, you should be writing a, let me show you here, 12 plus 8, sum of 12 plus 8. Actually, for this one in particular, because you have that division bar, that creates a natural group. And we write our division symbols now with a fraction bar. This now means to divide. Instead of using this, you very rarely see this in algebra. And you're dividing by 5. And now you get 20 divided by 5, which simplifies to 4. So what I'm trying to get you to do is please stop doing this. 12 plus 8 over 5 equals 20 over 5, which equals 4. Because as our problems get longer and longer, we're not going to have enough room. And universally, when we simplify, when we do math, we do it in steps. Here's step 1, step 2, step 3. So no more working horizontally. All right, let's move on. All right, pause it and try the next two on your own. Now check your work. So now I'm going to do the sum. I send it over to the and I've got my 4 plus 2. It's a sum, so I'm putting it in parentheses, multiplied. Now you can either do the big dot or the parentheses. So I'm doing my sum first because that's the group, 6 times 4. Every time it should look like a triangle, almost coming down. Number 4, the difference. Send it to the and. 7 minus 2 multiplied by the sum of 2 and 5. I have a sum, comes over to the and. Now, by rights, a parenthesis next to a parenthesis also means multiplication. So if they're touching, I can just do this. Okay? So I end up with 5 times 7, which is 35. All right, let's move on. Try 2 more. Only this time, actually, let's do this one together. Write a verbal phrase to represent the expression. This time you're writing a verbal phrase. We've got 3 divided by the difference of 4 minus 1. Or you could say the difference of 4 and 1. So 3, the quotient of 3, and the difference of 4 minus 1. So you could do that in a couple different ways. 3 divided by the difference of 4 and 1. You could also say the quotient of 3 and the difference of 4 and 1. Oops. So now you try the next one. And you get, check your work, 2 plus the quotient of 12 and 6. So remember, the ones that are going to go into the parentheses, that's going to either be a sum, a difference, a quotient, or a product. Product you don't really need to, but you can put it in there too. All right, evaluating. Evaluating means to find the value. So the first thing we do is substitute in. We always write the original equation, or expression, sorry. Step 2, we evaluate by substituting. So x is 2, y is 3, and then we simplify using our order of operations. So I get 2 times the quantity, well, times 5. The quantity of 2 and plus 3 equals 5. Okay, so now stop the recording and finish 2, 3, and 4. Now check your work. So when a number is next to a variable, that means to multiply. So I'm doing 2 times the quantity of 2, 2 times 2, plus 4 times 3. Then when I simplify those, I multiply before I add, so I get 4 plus 12, and then simplify down to 16. Next, I'm going to write the problem, evaluate in, substitute 10 minus 2 plus the quantity of 3 divided by 1. Grouping symbols first. 3 divided by 1 is 3. 10 minus 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Now, again, just a reminder, when a number is next to a variable, we do 5 times the quantity of 2 divided by the quantity of 2 plus 3 times 3. And you should have gotten 6. Although my PowerPoint's doing it, please put your answer right below. I don't want to see an equal sign and going horizontally. No equal signs here because these are expressions. All right, now I want you to do some problem solving and make this a true statement using the number 2, 3, and 5 to make each expression true. Pause the recording and see what you can do for number 1, 2, and 3. Now check your work. 5 minus 3 is 2, plus 2 is 4. Number 2. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 5 is 11. Or we could have done 3 times 2 plus 5 equals 11. 5 divided by 2 plus 3 equals 1. Or we could have done 5 divided by 3 plus 2. And that's the lesson.